cup. Good morning from the shell. Super fast.
Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk from in the shell and share good vibes and good times. Good friends and trends that bend the senses. Let's get a bit senseless. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we bring good vibes and good times. Welcome to the morning coffee show with super fast tortoise. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we have the flow. Good vibes from head to toe.
From head to toe. Good vibes, everybody in the show. What's up?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
That's right. Good morning. Yeah, I hope you're having a good morning.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. It is the time of day where you wake up with a cup of coffee and you're feeling a little hotty. So you got to drink a little potty in the cup. That's
Yeah,
how-
you gotta have that brown water.
Brown water indeed. Good morning, KJ.
Good morning.
You're good morning.
Yeah,
Morning
you
to
know,
you.
fresh coffee, and I have a bowl of snacks here beside me. Well, I do, but you can't tell. It's just off camera here, and I don't have hands to be able to bring it to the camera. Sorry, I'm a head in a jar.
Ooh. He didn't want to admit that he has hands, even though he's a head in a jar.
But I actually do now. For my Minecraft world, I have a cowboydan head in a jar with a
Nice.
robot body.
Nice.
I custom made using a program called Blockbench. I custom made my own character on Minecraft for me.
Cool.
That's cool.
Nice.
That's really cool.
And I'm working on a few mods as well. Particularly, I'm working on an achievement mod for everybody that's on the server. And our server is a streamer-only server. So all the achievements will be based around, all these achievements that we're working on are going to be based around the people on the server.
Right.
Nice.
Yep.
All the achievements are there. All the achievements are there.
Speaking of achievements, Terraria got some achievements, so retro achievements, and they got like a completionist one. And I'm like, oh no, not the completionist run.
Well,
Completionist run.
another thing talking about achievements. Arena has a achievement on them now where you can do achievements.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. That's
Hey,
how I loaded it up yesterday, I think.
They've changed Arena around a little bit.
Yeah, I like the fact that that there is some way to to figure out what you're doing in certain games. See, it's like, okay, it's one thing to play a game. Okay, if you have an opponent, you win or lose. There's a game, but there are certain games that that's coming out, like a lot of these simulator games, a lot of these sandbox games and whatnot, that don't have like a score. They don't have an achievement system. They don't have a leveling system. And I'm not a big fan of playing a game that doesn't have like any advancement.
Arena always had advancement in it.
Well, they've always had an advancement, but particularly there are these games that you find, a lot of them are like the phone app games and whatnot that you play and play and play, and there's no real advancement. And I'm just not a big fan of those kind of games. A lot of people are, though.
Not a big fan. I'm not a big fan. A big fan, a big heavy metal fan is kind of a fan I like. Pushes a lot of wind and cools down the area, and you find them in warehouses. Or sometimes the big heavy metal fans create electricity and power like a house or a couple.
That is indeed a big fan.
That's right.
You know what I like to do now that Tortoise has really decided to hit the topic change button. I will take that challenge. I will take that challenge. You know what I like to do? If I find a really big fan, like I just want to stand in front of it and go, oh, because you know when you're in front of a fan, you do that.
Well,
Yep.
And it has
I
that
get-
reverberation.
I got some
Well, I
sad,
remember.
I got some sad news for you though. You're just a head in a jar. You get you a big old fan, it's just gonna blow you away. But you just a head in the jar. That fan will be so strong it'll blow your head every dang gone where. Then what?
Yeah.
Then what you gonna do?
We have the safety officer there who will make sure that my jar doesn't tip.
But wait, KJ, I thought you liked tips.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
You can put tips in my jar.
Anyways, I remember before cell phones were around, when we kids were bored, we'd stick our face in front of a fan, like a little oscillating fan, and we'd be like, Luke, I am your father.
Oh, that's funny.
You know, we used the voice changer of the fan.
You know, I was very disappointed when we got a ceiling fan. Because just for that one reason, because you can't do that in a ceiling fan.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
No, you can't.
But the ceiling fan works so much better for you when it comes to cooling down the house.
Oh, it does. But if you're trying to do that, make that sound when you were a kid with the ceiling fan, you're just like you're trying to make that sound and jump at the same time, and you just don't get high enough, you know. And then and then your parents get mad at you for jumping on the bed, and it's like, but I'm trying something sciencey here, you know. And,
Right, fancy.
you know, and when you explain to them that you're trying to do science, and your parents ask you, what's the science? Well, I'm trying to see how a fan works, you know, with my voice.
Right.
Is not science to them, you know.
Yeah, Mom, Dad. Why can't you see how intellectual I am by trying to jump into a fan and change my voice? That is very scientifically and important to mankind.
And no, ladies and gentlemen, that is not the origin stories of how I got into the jar.
Oh, really?
Could fool me.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. I don't care who you are.
Jump. Somebody get the mayonnaise jar. Dan's got his head cut off.
Right. Miss Hillbilly says, got to love the kiddo days when you're kids. That's right. Well, because when you're kids and you're bored and you don't have a cell phone at the tip of your fingers, you know, you had to do these things like play with toys, draw on paper, go outside. You know that outside that door? Yeah, you had to go outside and touch. Sometimes your parents would buy you motivational bikes that would motivate you to get out of the house and stay out of the house for hours.
You know,
sometimes you meet these things called friends,
Oh.
and they're people you meet. And with these people you meet, you build and bond relationships, even if it's just for a day or maybe a lifetime or maybe for a few months. You just meet people and hang out with them and vibe pretty well because they're different and they were entertaining and they distracted you from your boredom.
What's a friend?
Sheesh. He just took my message.
What's a friend? You got a friend in me. Doodle-doodle-doo. You got a friend in me.
those were the good old days. I mean, nowadays you kind of look off. You kind of look like that weird guy. If you're like sitting there, it's like, okay, I went to the card shop and opened up a pack of cards, and you got your bicycle right next to you, and like, got it, need it, got it, need it. Oh, got too many of that. That one's going in the bicycle spokes. You know, you're 47 years old. Paper clipping a trading card to your bicycle spokes to make motorcycle sound. And, you know, people are going to look at you weird. You didn't look at you weird when you were like 13 doing that.
Right.
Backwoods collectors, what's up?
What's up, backwoods?
Well, you remember remember in the cul-de-sacs and in towns, even the janky part of towns, you'd catch kids playing on sidewalks in the road, playing some b-ball or soccer or squirt guns, laser tags, or maybe with action figures or playing heroes or something. You know, back in the day, you let your imagination guide you instead of looking for things to fill in the empty space that was your imagination spot.
Yep. But nowadays it's just computers and games.
Yep. That's why the toy industry is hurting everybody. Kids don't have an imagination anymore. No.
Yep.
They have to follow some vibe person on YouTube or TikTok or Twitch now, and they have to feel accepted that way, which is sad because being accepted with friends in real life is a lot better, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
friends to the end. Drink some coffee and then I don't know, just drink some coffee.
Just get coffee.
Well,
Speaking of the toy industry being a little bit of a hurt lately, I saw this YouTuber. He does kind of like these. You went down a weird rabbit hole, conspiracy theory YouTuber, right? And I was watching one of his pieces of content, and he believes that the reason why the technology toys instead of like other toys are being pushed on children at such a young age is to advance our educational system, so that way the children are already technologically knowledgeable going into school, so that way they can learn more advanced educational system by the time they get out of high school, and we can advance our science industries and whatnot. It's a whole rabbit hole conspiracy theory that on why like having kids with a cell phone instead of action figures is better in the eyes of these people.
Society has changed, though.
Yeah.
I remember the ongoing joke growing up with computer stuff is the kids knew more about the computers and equipment than adults did, and I still believe that's true today.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it tends to be.
But come on, why don't you take a kid, or a couple kids, stick them in a friendly area, have a radio with CDs that they can choose and agree upon music to put into the CD player, play a CD, play video, have video games like a console out, like a multiplayer game, like pull out an old N64, play some Mario Kart, right? Have some drinks, let people socialize and have fun and chill out. Kind of like what we do on the morning show, but in person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this conspiracy theory that I had said is exactly like that. But the reason why we don't, and the reason is because, according to this conspiracy theory, is that back in the 80s, when a lot of toy companies were under fire for making cartoons to sell toys, somewhere along the line, they tricked the toy companies. And the toy companies bought into this higher technology toys, and everybody was making money on the Tiger electronic handhelds, and then they weren't when Nintendo released the Game Boy.
Right.
And the regular toy companies were getting left in the dust.
Well, you can't help that. But
Right.
there's a lot that goes into all that jazz. Because there's just things you will not get back from the old days. Just some things you just won't get back, and you won't see it again because things have changed so much. The phone has replaced almost every toy out there. Most interactions. I mean, if you want to hear a conspiracy theory, here's one of my conspiracy theories. The government and the corporations have been working so hard on making everybody individualized and individualism, so they so there's a sense of control on what they can do to get us to purchase the things that they want instead of having friends to rely on and talk to. Back in the day, you used to have the family home entertainment system, which is the Super Nintendo. Now everybody has their own Nintendo. So it's all about you and individualizing yourself in the eyes of the corporation and the world to show that you are a struggling person who can manage their own life and have their own identity as part of the large corporations.
It's all about you. It's all about me.
That's right.
All around the world. Talking
Backwoods is I somewhat believe we are in a simulation theory. Could be.
I,
And reality isn't real. That's right. We're part of the Matrix.
I
Yes.
actually enjoy simulation theory of all the you're not living your life theories, you know, because that whole simulation theory and everything, which spawned incredible movies like The Matrix, you know, and a few other really good movies came out of like the concept of simulation theory.
What
Right.
about the Mandela effect?
Oh, where things get replaced, you remember things and they've been replaced with something else or like that? I know
Well,
what you're
things-
talking about, yeah.
The Mandela effects and simplicities, things change enough that your memory's probably correct and the reality is a change in it. Like the Berenstein Bears from the Berenstein Bears or something like that. Or Shazam was a movie, but Kazam wasn't, but we remember it.
Right. There's a good movie that references that, and it's a movie called Yesterday, and it's about this guy who remembers the Beatles, but nobody else in the world does.
Wow.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I think I heard of that
Yeah.
movie, yeah.
It's a great movie. It one of my favorite Mandela effect movies.
Backwoods Collector says on YouTube, his favorite channel is the Y-Files. He does an excellent job on these topics. Ooh.
Yeah, and he's a flesh tuber who has a VTuber co-host. Yeah,
All right.
his co-host is a goldfish, a CG goldfish. So I enjoy the Y-Files immensely. The host of the Y-Files constantly references George Norrie, and you hit me when you talk about Coast to Coast. Sorry.
Well, you're good. Well, to hit on today's topic a little as we progress, I think, with the lack of toys and more phones, I think games like Magic's Gathering kind of replaces the toy industry right now because that's what most people play with, interact with, and socialize with. And it's more acceptable than being an 18, 20-year-old playing with action figures, but you can play with cards at a game shop and still be nerdy.
Well, even at home with the family, even you are less likely to, when the power goes out and you grab the candles and sit around the table with your family, you're less likely to grab the action figures and more likely to grab a board game, a card game, some sort of tabletop game to play with your family to bide your time away until the power comes back on it during a storm.
Yeah, you're right. Well, it's more acceptable. Like, fathers and son playing Warhammer together because they want to waste some time and
right.
Games are more acceptable than toys are when it comes to the age gap and everything. That I think it reaches a lot. Like it reaches a lot. Like, and I think that's what's replacing a lot of toys and what's on phones and stuff is games. And some addictive games, some fun games, but like games replace the toy industry a lot because there's rules and settings you can go by, not open freely thinking all the time.
Right.
There is a tabletop commentator that I like to watch on YouTube. I don't recall what his channel name is right off the bat, but I want it's just one of those ones that I've watched his content enough that it gets recommended to me in the feed. And he says that he believes that it is sad that when we have a situation like a power outage done by a storm, situational, whatever the situation be, that is the only time that, like, nowadays, that tabletop games such as card games, miniature games, other RPGs, board games, what have you, tabletop games in particular, are not pulled out as often anymore as they used to be. And I think that one of the things that gets people into the tabletop game, particularly Magic the Gathering, is things that make you stay inside.
Mhm.
Yep.
And typically, if something puts your power out, you're probably not going to be going somewhere that probably also might have their power out. Greetings, man, monk.
Man, monk. Woo-woo.
Man, monk.
What's up,
Well-
man? I'm up.
Ever since COVID, I think the reverse of what you're talking about has happened, and it's become more acceptable to play board games with family, with friends, and it's like I think the industry is kind of dying down a little now, like, you know, the hype of it. But there's more channels, more content, and more people playing board games since COVID than before COVID. So games have replaced a lot and become more popular. It's kind of weird how the geek culture has changed and morphed everything. Like, it's like certain thing or event will happen, and people realize, oh, I like this nerdy thing, and everybody else finds out, and they're like, oh, I like this nerdy thing too. Let's enjoy this nerdy thing together. You know, and that's why
I think his thing was more of a generalization than like the thing. I was just suggesting Magic the Gathering because more people did get into it during COVID. But his topic was more of a generalization that, like, people aren't getting around to playing games as a family unit as much as they used to.
Right, and it's kind of reverting back to that. It's becoming like board games has become more of a hobby than it has become a family event.
Right. You know,
Yeah.
It used to be you get your board games out, you know. I remember my parents had like the biggest game cupboard, you know, and we did a board game every week.
Every week.
And,
Cool.
And you were
and
that kid who
typically-
says, why do I want to play a board game? It's called a board game, isn't it? You're bored when playing it.
Yeah, it was to get me off that Nintendo or whatever. You know, me and my stepbrother would always fight over what game we're gonna play or whatever, you know. And we're gonna do something as a family, you know. So
Family.
we have this huge game room cupboard, just, you know, like with every game you could imagine back in the 90s. And I remember it's game night. Dad insists we do game night.
Yeah, that's right. Game night.
We have all these
night.
games, but the only game that we ever play is Monopoly.
All right. Speaking of game night, Hillbilly wanted me to share a video with you guys today. Yeah, really quick. Right here.
I didn't get a good video of.
Put a treat in there. I can see the dog was smacking its lips like it just had a treat. It's like nom 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 nom.
Yep. Now that's what happens when your dog steals your coffee.
Don't steal your coffee. But anyways, as we progress, we need to hit this bumper.
You are watching Super Fast Tortoise.
Put up a fight, gonna leave them all in fright. Playing Magic the Gathering on a Saturday night. So many creatures, casting spells with all his might. Sipping on more coffee to stay awake and bright.
Oh, calm down. It's just a show. It's just a show. Just calm down. Don't get too excited. Breathe. It's just us. And it's Mugenfool clicking his mouth everywhere.
Sorry about that.
You know, we're here. Have fun. Be cool. And we need to get to the first segment of the day as we approach the topic as we get into it. Hillbilly, He knows the way. He knows
Well-
the way around the next topic.
Well, I guess it's time for card of the day.
Card of the day.
Combo breaker.
Nice. Yolta!
Golta Stampede Tyrant. Copy this card. That's 5 generic, 3 green. Legendary creature, Elder Dinosaur. It has a 12/12 with trample. This is Golta Stampede Tyrant enters the battlefield, putting a number of creature cards from your hand onto the battlefield.
Let's bust it once it hits the battlefield.
Yeah. It's a dinosaur. It's like a $12 dinosaur too, so I need to get a copy when I can. Hillbilly's rich. Just buy me a copy.
I wish.
I thought you had $1 million. Weren't you telling me in the show before the show that you had $1 million stashed away in the box?
No, actually, you mistook that. I meant for you to send me that $1 million. That way I can buy you stuff like this.
Oh, so you want me to send you the $1 million?
I actually have $1 million on the way. See, I got this letter in the mail from this guy in Saudi Arabia. He's a prince, right? He said, if I sent him $10, I would have $1 million investment in less than a month. So I'm just waiting on that. It's been 6 years.
Holy, that's such an old scam.
Yep.
That's such an old scam. Even my brother got caught in one of those scams.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Yeah, ended up owning he ended up owing a bank some money because they legitimately sent you a check to cash.
You know how old this scam is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Galta, the Stampede Tyrant.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she was the first person to get scammed by the scam. That's how the picture came about. This is after she found out. What? He wasn't a prince? Oh my!
That's funny. That's funny. That's funny. Prehistoric scams. Well, I'll give you 1 rock for 2. That great deal.
What's the carbon date on that jar?
That's right. All right, let's get to some pictures of the day. And Tortoise had fun with pictures of the day, if you can't tell.
It's your code, their code.
That is hilarious. That is great. That is great.
I stole the idea off a Jurassic Park picture.
Too
I
bad
like-
he broke the window trying to get in.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Like his hand, like the dinosaur's hands through the window, like it's not there, so it must be cold inside. But it was the best picture I got of the dinosaur, like halfway in, halfway out. I'm like, that's a perfect picture. But I couldn't stop anything with the hand inside.
That's great. I love that one. That one's a great one. That was a good one. This is definitely of your recent memes that you've been making. The definitely in the top 5.
Woo-woo.
Woo.
Well, get ready for more. Who knew Billy would go camping and bring home a new pet?
Wow.
Looks like it's just enjoying the chill vibes.
I'm just sitting here. It's like, okay, he's got 2 coffees, and he's got his dinosaur friend.
Oh, what's that one name from We're Back, the movie? You know, the cartoon.
Yeah,
Like
we're
Denver,
back.
the Last dinosaur.
Yeah. No, the movie was called We're Back.
Like, I don't remember the name of the T-Rex name, but I know the movie you're talking about. It's directed by Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
But
This
yeah.
dinosaur's doing to that guy what Q does to me. He's, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Who are you talking to?
Mm-hmm.
You're just looking at that bright square. What are you doing?
That's right.
That's exactly what it looks like that dinosaur's doing. What are you guys doing?
Mhm.
Okay, we got 2 people in this picture that has 2 coffees.
You know what's funny is it's supposed to be s'mores in their hand, but they did the little white marshmallows as cups or something.
And it also looks like 3 of those people don't have a coffee.
Yep.
Hans. I love Galta. Yeah, that's right.
3 has coffee, 3 don't.
Blvd. Whoop whoop.
Sup?
Yeah.
Salam.
Just chilling dinosaur. That's right, TC dude. Yeah, movie poster as a kid. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. We're gonna get to the next picture. The next picture shows my age more. Pet, a good nap time, just like you. Look, there's Q with his little dwarf legs, cuddle up with a T-Rex thing.
Oh yes. So chat. RQ, the orange demon child that we named on this show. Well, Q apparently, according to a medical professional, is a dwarf. For a dwarf, he's a pretty big dwarf. He's already exceeded in size my older cat, 7. But so we're gonna have to change his name to lowercase q.
Lowercase q.
Because he's a dwarf.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have we played around with Apple AI Image Creator? I feel like these could be all from that. Good question. Have you?
No, these are from Night Cafe.
Night Cafe. Night Cafe is pretty good. I like Night Cafe.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No coffee or them asking, "Oh, well done steak." Elicit same response. That's right. Firmly but politely tell them to leave. Now, for the last picture of the day, yeah, my pet Fifi loves to swim. Plays with the pool.
Wow.
You know, I imagine these people in the pool are like, yeah, our friend John Hammond gave us our pool Rex, Poolosaurus Rex, and
Poolosaurus Rex.
you know, for some, I don't know why they're having problems with their dinosaur on the island.
Right.
Our Poolosaurus Rex is enjoying himself greatly. Only ate 2 of the neighbors.
Only
Neighbors.
Yeah, I had so much fun coming up with the pictures of today because all the dinosaurs involved come with different prompts.
Cool.
Yeah. Dinosaurs, 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 all the dinosaurs. Let's filter through some more pictures and hold on, I need to click that. And if you guys have a picture of the day that you want to share with us, pictures for the day, in Discord, you can share pictures of the day, get a shout out, interact with the channel, participate in different ways. It is awesome what you can do if you're part of Discord. There's a segment in chat or in Discord called Pictures of the Day. You can just upload pictures, and I will use them on the show.
Yep.
Same with the question of the day. The question day is the same way where you can participate in the show and ask a question like today's question. Let's get to it.
Presented by Discord, we have the question of the day.
The question of the day is brought to us by Matt Saxon from Tibalts Apprentice. Let's see what he had to ask.
Hello, Creep family. How's it going? Tibalts Apprentice here with a question for you today. What single keyword represents you as a person? I'm, of course, going to say delirium. What are you going to say?
Well, he looks like he'd have delirium.
So, if you were a keyword in Magic the Gathering, a keyword would you be from an existing keyword in Magic the Gathering?
Ooh, I know one. Madness for me.
Madness.
I'd say landfall. Or not I'd be not landfall, but land walk.
Land walk. Man, you're mind bent on land walk lately.
Oh yeah.
I swear you gotta be bipolar.
Madness is for me for bipolar. Aren't we all? Just a
Right.
little bit bipolar, aren't we all?
Right. If I could represent a mechanic, I think that fits me well. It'd be flashback, because I always try to remember things from the past for the future, so I can use that advantage in the future.
Nice.
See,
Oh, so Hans is just an enemy protagonist in another world. The guy hit by a truck, and now they're here in our world.
like indestructible. Woo woo. Well, as long as you're doing good, if that's a real thing there.
Yeah.
Captain Waffles just got back to service. Good morning, everyone. Woo woo. Ooh, manifest. That's a good one. See, I would assume Hillbilly would have said manifest too, but he's all about land walk. You know, he's all about walking the miles, putting in those leg work. He's all about getting that exercise.
Exactly. You gotta have my exercise.
Oh.
And the sassafras as well.
Sassafras, truck gun.
This is
You
right.
give me good enough. Now, if KJ had a mechanic that suited him well, would probably be modular.
Modular. Okay.
All right. So modular is a mechanic where an artifact came in with +1 counters on it. Or sometimes a +1 counter would eventually be placed on this artifact. But when the artifact is removed from the game by being destroyed, it would move the +1 counters onto another artifact. So no matter what happens to KJ, he's always transferring himself to a different consciousness of another robot.
Yeah, that sounds like the one card. I can think of the name of it. Dang it! Let you play cards from the battlefield, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And thinking of robots, we got Hellwheeler.
There she is.
Whoop whoop! I made it. I
You
had to
made
go
it.
rescue my neighbor who ran out
Yeah.
of fuel.
Oh no! Look how far we made it. Look how far we
Indeed.
come, my baby. They said we would never make it, but look how.
Oh no, with some
far
of the
we
traffic, it was a
come.
wonder.
Oh,
It's
well, how's the
midday for
weather
you
for
guys,
you?
It's rush hour traffic here.
How's the
Woo-hoo.
weather?
Weather's all right.
Okay.
It's not too bad.
Well, over here it's bad. It's like only 10 degrees here.
Yeah, we got
Oh,
snow
yeah,
out
we're
in Little
pretty at 50
Rock.
degrees also.
Man among. So it would be like a lid on or lid off. Funny. Captain Waffles is he'd have
Hopefully
affinity
lid
for
on. When I get my new version of my avatar, it's going to have a lid on it.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. And as he talked, that'd be cool if the lid jiggled, like wiggled and stuff, and like the rim would kind of go around.
We'll have to add to the list of things to add to future versions of the avatar. That's for sure. The new avatar does take some suggestions that people have suggested.
Nice.
All right. Hellwheeler,
Yes.
if you were a Magic the Gathering mechanic or had a mechanic for Magic the Gathering, what would represent you as a person?
Power boost, I think.
Oh.
I mean, it does only work with, I think, your less enjoyed vehicle sort of cars, but, you know, suddenly get a power boost and you just suddenly blast the front lines or something.
Something. That works.
Or
That
you get to
works.
attack first, something. Like, locale, we've got, cheap shot. So they can attack first and they won't deal damage. The other person won't deal damage until after my character's done his damage.
I think
So you can potentially get rid of another character without actually taking any damage yourself. But something like that, some sort of power boost, sort of. I just jump in there, get in there, and before anyone else can.
Right. Makes sense. A power boost of some sort. It works. It works.
We had talked at one point in time about if we had created our own game mechanics, and I didn't have much to say about it at the time, but I put some thought into if I had my own game mechanic, what it would be.
That's
And
good. And,
like
and
a
we're
lot.
going to get to that topic very soon, actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Did he read the title of the show?
Well, I did read the title. It's just you created yeah, okay. Well,
yeah, okay. Let's
I'll be
go.
right back. Restroom break.
All right, go to the restroom. We're going to get to that. In fact, we're going to hit this particular.
Don't forget to like this video and subscribe.
Moves, the strategies, and the flair. Supervised tortoise is running the show. The crowd goes wild wherever he goes.
Whoa! Look at that. Man, look how far we made it.
Oh, yeah.
What if you designed and created your very own trading card game? What if you had the control to put in your favorite mechanics and themes together? Would it be like Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, or Locale? Anything you could be or have. Have you designed an MTG cube or something like that before? Have you designed your own game before? If you could do a game, what would it be like and how would you do it? There. That's the monologue I had set aside for it. All right.
Well, I'd make something like Raiders of the Lost Ark kind of game, and the prize would be KJ's head would be the prize, and you try to get to the head before the big rock rolls across you and crushes you. And if it rolls across you and crushes you, you got to go back to the beginning of the game.
I instantly boycott the game, not because it doesn't sound cool, because it sounds incredibly cool, but I can't have Jesse collecting my head on another game. For those people who are haven't or have been watching Jesse and I play Minecraft, she's collecting everybody's heads on the server.
I'm making a cool room to show everyone that has joined the server. You just have to lose your head in the process.
But for every to move around the board, you roll the dice, and if you hit a even number on the dice, you'd move, but the boulder would move towards you too.
Okay, I can dig that. I can dig that.
And I think to supplement KJ's idea of having someone collect his head, he doesn't want people to collect his head many times without getting payment for it. I mean, come on.
Hey, he's hoarding heads. Like, if you go into KJ's house and go to his barrels, there's like an entire barrel nearly of just his heads.
Well, I mean,
But they're for the most.
He's a head in a jar. What do you think he is, Dexter?
They're my heads mostly, and I use them to troll Jessie by placing my heads on sticks all over her house in front of doors.
I already have a chicken problem in my house. I don't need a head problem.
Han says, I used to collect friends and clan members' ears, and I think that's what the D2 stands for.
Cool.
All right, Madam Monk, have a good day. So, anyways, KJ, you were talking about like mechanics and stuff in a game that you would created in a game.
Well, yeah. Well, I thought about it, right? You know how like Magic has reach and trample, and game mechanics like that that can attack. Well, I was thinking, if I created my own TCG, I'm gonna have, because one of the things I like to say is that especially with like something's on my shelf, if like I'm going to be talking about it and you put my jar on a shelf, or like I'll have like my creator's shelf is a segment I want to do one day where I kind of like spotlight a small creator. And so I'm thinking I'm going to have a mechanic called shelf, and pretty much for one turn, when you put me on the field for one turn, your opponents can't attack you with what's on the field or something like that. So I shelved all your monsters for one turn.
Like if kind of phase them out of the game for a turn.
Right.
That's pretty cool. I mean, they have a card like that phases all your stuff until a turn. It's called phase protection. It's annoying, super duper powerful. But phasing is a kind of a mechanic that can be perfected, like what you're doing, where you phase out a creature until in turn, so they can't target it, deal with it, or do nothing with it.
Yeah. So the whole concept of my character would be that they can't, they can't attack me for one turn. It'll give me an extra hit on those chance to attack those cards.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's like a built-in fog effect. It makes sense. That's a fun mechanic indeed. Hillbilly.
Yo.
Now, if you created your own card game or your own kind of game, right, on more of a serious effort, like what are some things you thought about, like you wish you saw Magic the Gathering that you'd implement in your own game? And Landwalk has already been taken. Sorry.
Dang blanket. Well, I would try to come up with some kind of competitive game and make it a board game to where you'd have to try to get to the end of the game, and whoever gets on at the end of the game will win the prize loot. Kind of like Monopoly, the house rules, where you throw money in the center, and you'd get, then whoever gets on the free parking gets that.
Yeah,
it'd be similar to that.
So you'd bring back a form of ante,
right? But with Monopoly money and then whoever gets at the end of the game would not necessarily win the game. It's whoever has the most money collected.
That's interesting. So it'd be a point system basically with the money, and the person with the most money wins.
Correct.
All right. That's an interesting mechanic and an interesting thought. It's very idealism and capitalist at its best.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do believe that games with even an alleged financial gain, as long as it steers away from more of a gambling aspect, I think that games that teach particularly children who are learning to play these games a sense of, well, I'm putting my finances, my allowance or whatever into whatever I'm getting. You learn how to count money, keep track of money and whatnot. If you do have like a financial aspect to the game, like Monopoly money or whatnot.
Mm-hmm. No, like Monopoly has some good aspects about it, but I'm surprised that of all the monopolies they ever made, they never made a responsible monopoly where they tell you how to use your money responsibly and actually got taxed every season instead of waiting for the cards to tax you.
Exactly.
Well, you can always try to find some way to merge Monopoly in the game of life.
Right.
Because you can be a winner at the game of life.
That's right. You don't have to go through all the strife. Sorry, I was adding to it, making it up as I was going.
Yeah, well, my game would have a way to pay into it to get extra moves, but with a roll of dice. But if you roll like a 1 or a 6, then you have to pay double that money.
Right. So
for the game.
So mechanically though, because every time you play a game or a set comes out, you think, oh, they could have done this different. Or you play a different game, you're like, that's an interesting mechanic. I'd love to see Magic or another game. And it's happened. Like yesterday, I was talking about Witchcraft, how they have this interesting mechanic where they have a card with ability on it. And the ability on this one side of the card would not exile the card. But if you want a stronger ability, a stronger version of the card, you could exile the card to get a more rapid response. So it's like, you have a card that says draw 1 mana, scry 1, draw 1. Or if you exile the card, you can draw 2. It's like some mechanic like that would be interesting in the game. I know Magic the Gathering Life is a point system, like the money idea you said. But the money system's like a shared pool, and whoever has the most money at the end wins because they did the most. Because if you think about it, in the same vein, when you play a game of Commander, everybody's life totals and a share of polls just equally divvied up to 40 life. The person with the most life wins.
Mm-hmm.
Unless someone has like a cheap way to win.
Yeah, I do agree with that as a scoring system in a sense. You know, I mean, you are the remaining person. You have the most life. You have the most cards left in your hand, and you can still play where the other person possibly can't, or whatever the scenario that you have for whatever card game. And you know, you have the higher score. You have the higher mana count. You have the higher hit points still. Whatever. You know, I think that that's for a survival style game, whether it be in card format or anywhere else, and you're the last man standing. Brilliant game.
Oh, yeah.
Simple and brilliant, if you ask me.
So if I were to design my own game, one thing I'd stress upon is everything you do touches the top of your library somehow. I know it sounds weird when I say touch the top of your library, but like I want everything you do to draw you a card or scry a card or manipulate the top card of your library somehow, even to the graveyard if you need to. Because I think a game that constantly pushes itself to move is a game that constantly pushes itself to play. When you apply synergies, because most powerful decks in Magic rely on synergies of the cards moving, drawing cards, mana at the top deck, fixing reanimation from the graveyard, or getting cards in your hand all the time. Those are the strongest decks. And if I could incorporate a game where all that is valid in everybody's play state, everybody will have the most powerful decks, but you know, one deck will still got to win. That'd be best played by skill. Yeah.
I think skill-based games are very important because you want to have something kind of like a lot of people say that games are mind-numbing, but I think like if you learn certain aspects of certain games and you build like a challenging game, it could actually help build your the way your brain thinks. And the more of a challenge you get, the more you kind of give yourself like, yeah, I can dig this. I can work with this, and I can make myself better with this, you know?
Right. Really quick, I want to say hello to Pause Brown. Thank you for stopping in while you're at work. Hope you have a wonderful day at work and your feet treat you well.
So pause.
Yeah, and like yesterday we were talking about modal spells. I'd love to see more modal spells in the game. I'm hoping there are going to be some good spoilers in Final Fantasy for modal spells because it makes sense. Wizards of the Coast already spoiling a card that attacks for 9,999 points of damage.
Yeah. What I can't understand is why Final Fantasy. We don't know nothing about Tarkir yet. I mean, we need to get done with Tarkir before we even talk about Final Fantasy.
I mean, you're right.
However, they done, you know, already jumped the gun and went over to Final Fantasy. Is it that bad? Is Wizards suffering that bad that they had to skip a set?
Are we skipping a set?
Yeah, Tarkir. See, right there. Then Tarkir, then Final Fantasy. See, they totally skipped Tarkir and went straight to Final Fantasy.
Why? I want to get to Tarkir for some reason. I was thinking Final Fantasy was coming before Tarkir. No, you're right.
Maybe it might be because they're going to try. They want to have the new set released in time for after they brought in a new following using Final Fantasy. Because you bring in the newer following, and then you release your here's the lore accurate expansion.
Yeah, that still don't make no sense, KJ, because we got to go, because the way they usually does it, they go with the next set to be released. It's full of cards from there before they even start on the next set. And see, Tarkir is the next set. Then Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
And we don't know nothing about Tarkir. We ain't seen no leaks or nothing. The only leaks we've seen is another one that releases in the summer of June.
I don't know. Maybe they're trying to pull in wait from the Final Fantasy community to jump in, giving them time so they can get more new people to come in and buy their stuff.
Yeah, they got
if I was creating a game and making a game, I would try to advertise and market it the best way I can to get more people to buy the game so I can be successful to purchase and pay for a new game or an expansion.
I mean, I understand what they're doing and everything to an extent, but I still think they should have talked about Tarkir first. But they won't talk about Tarkir until MagicCon in Chicago.
Well, there better be some good cards in Tarkir.
I hope so. Some cards that I'm looking forward to, and that I hope to bring into the game, back into the game, which is Triomes. We'd love to see Triomes back in the standard format.
Well, yeah, they could possibly do Triomes. Well, I don't know if they will do Triomes.
Yeah,
because like Ravnica's known for its shock lands. Khans of Tarkir is known for its fetch lands.
Yep.
So we'll see.
Yep, and you also look at Final Fantasy. There's the only thing they spoiled was the commander decks. All the commander decks are 3 colors. So to me, that's hollering Triumph.
Yeah, but they could have Triumphs in Final Fantasy.
True.
Yeah, I mean they're going to try to set the cells well.
Yep.
But anyways, it's all good and groovy in the neighborhood for sure. I mean, if you were to create your own card game, like how would you focus your subset on growing your? Would you focus your sets on growing your game, or you focus your game on keeping your already existing players?
Keep our existing players and growing the game.
Right. Let's see. I think Wizard of the Coast is trying to grow the game. Before they're going secondarily working on keeping the existing players.
Mm-hmm.
Because Final Fantasy has a big following out there.
Well, yeah, it does. Very popular, very very popular game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to it for Final Fantasy. Looking forward to Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
But you still don't know nothing about Tarkir. I'm waiting on that to release.
Yeah. Well, when you start designing your own game, you'll understand the reasons why they do things, I guess. I don't know.
Yep.
Wait, coming up in a couple years, everybody, you're going to have Hillbilly, the card game. Where everybody plays for the most tokens. I'm kidding.
Here's your junk. Here's your junk. Here's your junk. Now you got to give me the junk.
That's right. Good junk. But with that, my friends, we got to hit this bumper.
Hit that subscribe button. Become a part of the creep.
Too much to take. So it's lit. MTG3, are you game? Rise, creep, rise, building a following as we gain. Spitting fire like a dragon, no one can bring us down. MTG3 in the house, we own this town. Ripping through the beats with a fury.
Whoa. Look at us. Get into the chill section where we can hear the sweet sounds of Mugenfool breathing in the mic.
Sorry about that. Still had it muted for some reason. Okay, yeah, sorry about that.
You good? Oh man, it's funny, but we're getting to the point where we're at the end of the show. We got to relax and chillax. My brain's still wondering why Hillbilly didn't bring up the whole topic before we got to the main topic. Instead of changing the topic altogether. What? What?
It happens. It happens.
Let's see. But anyways, We're gonna relax, chillax, get into the move. We're gonna start getting into that groove. We're gonna find out the one person start. We're gonna start with mugenfool because we know he's here already. So
Yes. I'm not going to be doing much today because of the weather, but I do plan on when the weather gets better to finally get to recording something or streaming something.
right.
Okay, thank you. That's all.
All right. They're going for mugenfool. We're gonna go to the wheels and tools. We got Hellwheeler.
Hey, it's a Wednesday. So I'll leave Dan to say the majority of tonight because we don't want to steal his thunder. We know he likes to have something to say. After what Dan is going to say, though, we have Exploding Kittens Party Night tonight. So if you have Exploding Kittens 2 on either your phone, because it should be on the App Store, or Steam, it normally goes on sale fairly cheap, or you can get a code fairly cheap. But yes, we will be playing Exploding Kittens 2 tonight, trying to make sure that those little kitties do not explode. Because these two on my lap are definitely going to give me looks if I do. So we don't want to upset my kitties.
Don't upset the kitties. No.
And then tomorrow, depends on what happens, but it's either going to be continuation of the Mass Effect trilogy, or if I can get hold of it, Like a Dragon Yakuza, the pirate one, is released tomorrow, and my hopes is I can get hold of a copy to play. Even if I can't own it, at least give it a play and try out, because I will be getting it at some point, definitely, to own myself. But it's the latest Yakuza game, and you get to be a pirate, and it looks so cool. So that may be tomorrow, depending on whether I can get hold of the game.
Right.
Otherwise, we'll be normal Mass Effecting.
Right. Normal Mass Effect for now, everybody. Let's check it out. Now we're going to go to the KJ Head in a Jar.
Hey, howdy, hey, boys and girls. kjcowboydan here saying, I hope you're being good heads out there in Chatland. Well, tonight is indeed Wednesday night, and Jesse Hellwheeler and I will be talking about the post-apocalypse, including zombies and a few other post-apocalyptic things. We're even going to do a fun little AI bad ad reads for post-apocalyptic items. So think about it before you come to the show tonight. What items would you like to hear Jesse and I do a bad ad read for that you're going to need in the post-apocalypse?
Post-apocalypse. Not during the apocalypse, but after.
Right after, that time when you see the zombies running around.
You're gonna win. You're gonna win barely by the hair on your chin.
And then we're going to be playing, as Jesse said, Exploding Kittens, which is a game that takes place during the apocalypse.
Oh yeah, sounds fun. And now we're gonna roll from KJ on to Hillbilly.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, I've been a floating head today. Yeah, but anyway, I'll be streaming again later on today at 2 o'clock Central Standard Time. As always, 2 streams a day, 9 and 2. And I'll be streaming. We'll try to bake some new decks to see if we can play them on the ladder, see if we can climb on the ladder a little bit this afternoon. Other than that, that's all I got planned for today.
All right. Super fast tour to say this is Wednesday. We're gonna do something tonight. I don't know if we're gonna play Turtles game again because I got 12 copyright claims on that game.
Ooh,
alone. Not strikes, just claims. People claiming their songs from the game.
Wow.
So I don't know if I would play that game live again, but I don't know. I might finish it with those super long loading times. I don't know. Figure out what we'll do. But I will definitely go live tonight. And if you haven't, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button so you know when I go live. Hit that toggle the bell. Get that bell and toggle it for all notifications so you know when I go live. Check it out. We have a blast here. We're having fun. Yeah. But with that, everybody, I want to thank you for being on the show. Everybody who's part of the show, Hillbilly, KJ, Cowboy, Dan, Hellwheeler, and Mugenfool, thank you for being here. And everybody in chat for keeping it lively and keeping it going, flowing. And I want to remind you all that you're amazing. You're awesome. You're loved. Someone's thinking about you. And if you can't, make someone else's day brighter. And if you have it on Discord, I posted a picture in the shell area of the packages I did for mugs. Go there, check it, make sure the correct names are there. So later on, we'll see you guys later. I totally want to thank you for watching today's video. I really appreciate it, 100%. Like this video as if it's your favorite kind of pizza, dude. And if you wouldn't mind, consider smashing that subscribe button and hit that bell for notifications. Every one of these things you do helps the channel out a lot.
The moves, the strategies, and the flair. Supervised